So Kendrick Lamar Duckworth is a diabolical Gemini, but his sun sign is not the only reason that this man is so petty. So let's take a look at his birth chart to see what the hell is wrong with this man. So first and foremost, when you're looking at his chart, he has a Libra rising. And so your rising indicates what qualities you're going to be developing through personal experiences. It also lets people kind of know your physical appearance, how people are going to respond to you, potentially. Hold on, now I forgot to introduce myself. It is your favorite ethereal mother, aka the artist, the psychic, and the astrologer. Alright, so now that's out of the way, let's get back to this goddamn video. And so with Kendrick having a Libra rising, which if you pay attention to his interviews and stuff like that, he is very, very calm, cool, and collected and very charming. He's so chill. He is so chill. That is very much Libra energy. And they are very, very big on having harmony within all of their relationships and partnerships, and always trying to be considerate of the other person to maintain whatever that connection is. And I did not know that Kendrick used to be a ghostwriter, so it is very possible that he has maintained those relationships from whenever he started. Maybe that could go back before like 2015 maybe. So again, that could be kind of the start of getting familiar with everybody in the industry. And if you have this placement, please comment down below, and also like, share, and subscribe, because I know you want to come back because it's amazing over here. So let's look a little deeper into his natal chart. The first thing that stood out to me is his Pisces moon. Now, I have never met a Pisces moon that was not petty. Whether that be for like a legitimate reason, or maybe they kind of fabricated something within their mind because they might have gotten a little overly sensitive, because sometimes they could overthink a situation and whatever narrative they land on is the truth for them. So sometimes it is a bit frustrating because they don't ask clarifying questions or anything like that, but it can lead to someone that is very passive aggressive. It can also lead to someone who is avoidant. They tend to self-sabotage. Sometimes that sabotage can lead to prison, because Pisces does represent prison. So, but in Kendrick's case, he was not passive aggressive, he was aggressive aggressive. And so the thing with Pisces energy, it has the capability of stripping you down and removing anything that could be suppressing your emotional and spiritual evolution. So it puts you in a place where you're like, who am I on a soul level without these physical possessions, these false identities, or identities that people projected onto you? Who am I beneath all of that? And Kendrick knew that that was going to be Drake's Achilles heel, because he has created numerous false personas throughout his career, and he's been in the game for damn near a decade, I think a little bit longer. So, and the way that Kendrick creatively spoke about this, especially in the song Euphoria, basically calling Drake fraudulent, and Drake knows on a soul level that he is very fraudulent, because again, this is not who he is. This weird cosplay of Black culture that he has utilized to make money is not him, and it's very evident. And the way that Kendrick basically called that man a white man from Canada, fair. Yes, he does have a Black daddy, but when it comes down to understanding the culture and being immersed in the culture, that's not something that Drake experienced until later in life. You know, like I don't think Drake knows that FUBU is an acronym. I'm not gonna tell him, somebody else can tell him. And again, like I said, with Kendrick utilizing his Pisces moon to strip Drake of his false ego, again, he has cosplayed multiple different types of people. He's been like an R&B person, a singer. He's been an R&B singer. He's been Jamaican. He's been a weird, sad lover boy. Like, you know, I don't know. He's been a lot. He's had multiple personas throughout his career. So stripping him of that is it makes him extremely vulnerable, which is very Piscean. Like, I'm going to make you very, very vulnerable and expose the fantasy, Piscean energy, and show people who Drake really is. Granted, we didn't really need him to do that, but I guess there might have been some people who, like, you know, they probably were shocked. I guess. And again, Drake has been in the industry for damn near a decade, and I'm sure that has created a God complex within him. So he probably did feel untouchable, which is crazy to think about, but it happens. And I also think because Drake thought that he was untouchable, it made him very sloppy too, which made it very easy to find dirt on him. Granted, you didn't have to look very hard. It was very out in the open. Kendrick said in the song Meet the Grams, 37, but you're showing up as a 7-year-old. You got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping problems, spending problems, bad with money, whorehouse, soliciting women problems. Therapy's a lovely start, but I suggest ayahuasca. Strip the ego from the bottom. Again, like I said, Piscean energy is very big on spiritual development. And Kendrick has also talked about doing past life regressions. I'm sure he has done ayahuasca to really get to know himself on a better level. And again, I think it would be a great start for Drake, but I don't foresee him doing that. And again, a lot of people have had this same critique of Drake because his music has not matured. I want to say it's been like 5 or 6 albums now, and people have been saying the same shit. But again, Kendrick using his art, using his talent, that probably is from a past life. He probably has always been a poet or a writer or whatever, for, you know, for lifetimes now. And the way that his Pisces moon just exposed Drake of the fantasy Pisces, I mean, yeah, this is Drake, a white Canadian man. That is him. So let's get into some of Kendrick's goofy Gemini-isms. So he does have a Gemini sun, and it does collaborate with his Pisces moon, providing him the ability to articulate what he's feeling, but also what other people are feeling too. Because I think I said this earlier, Pisces is the ocean, so it's very sensitive to what other people are feeling. It can be overwhelming because that's a lot of energy, but you know. And so I think that Kendrick really did pick up on, again, the way that he knew exactly what Drake's insecurities were and how to articulate that in the most creative, the double entendres, and again, not just calling out Drake, but also the industry as well. Like, all of you have the audacity to boost this person that is cosplaying Black culture, but not actually supporting amazing Black creatives. And then also creating the code that would make an AI rapper, which is absolutely insane that 2 white men thought that that was appropriate. And again, back to Kendrick's Gemini-isms. Euphoria, I think, is a great example because he uses different accents, his voice inflections, like, it's just so funny the way that he kind of did that. And again, like I said, the double entendres, the triple entendres, like, it was absolutely insane to witness that entire 6 minutes of Kendrick dragging this man verbally by his Caucasian edges, because Drake really thought that he was going to win, or enter rather, in a rap battle with someone who won a Pulitzer Prize, and the only rapper to do so. Like, that, this has never happened. And so I also want to bring up the fact that Kendrick does have his Gemini sun in the 9th house. This is the area of your chart that represents expansion of consciousness, publishing, being a counselor, a teacher, higher education, and philosophy. So again, Pulitzer Prize. It's literally right there. And again, just the way that he articulates everything so poetically and in a creative way of expressing his own struggles, expressing the Black American struggle, and just other experiences that he has had throughout his life. He has gone through a lot. And what better way to use your creative talent as therapy, basically. It is not a substitute for actual therapy, but it's a great place to start. And again, the fact that he called Drake in the song Not Like Us a colonizer is again insane and outrageous. It's outrageous. Okay, so funny enough, Kendrick and SZA both have Pisces moons. Again, comment down below if you have this placement, and also again, like, share, and subscribe, because why not? It's easy. Okay, and like I said, Pisces moon, so follow me. Kendrick's Libra rising, which is actually ruled by Venus, and he has his Venus in Gemini, right? So he has had a partnership, a creative partnership with SZA since before 2014. And Gemini also represents gathering information. So a lot of people believe that SZA could have been the mole that Kendrick was talking about. I think he said it in Meet the Grams or Euphoria. And I too think that SZA might have been the mole.
I figured out who the mole was. SZA is the mole. Now we can say it started from the Control verse, but what it really started is with that fucking BET cipher. And who in the background smiling?
SZA.
SZA in the background. Now, a couple of notable things. When I see you stand by Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. Who's the third bad bitch that was with him in Sexy Red?
SZA.
Okay. Who has a reputation of being a known liar, pathological liar?
SZA.
All of the good ingredients of a mole, she's been there in the mix. Drake being the freakazoid that he is, he dated the old SZA, fake freckle SZA. Now you don't think a young freakazoid like Drake see that the BBL god, the king of BBL? You don't think he's seen that body? I gotta put my eyes on it. I gotta put my eyes on it. I gotta see what the work like. I gotta see what type of work they did. I ain't never seen this SZA with the new body. I gotta experience that. A part of my conclusion comes to this. Nobody has ever shed bad light on TDE. All of their artists seems happy. Who's the only artist that seems perpetually unhappy at TDE?
SZA.
These are gangbangers, guys. I made you. The world don't know you without TDE. We ramping up the beef. I need you to get the drop, or you ain't never releasing an album again, bitch. Yeah, we're gonna give you something to get on Twitter about.
And Pisces also represents your dreams and astral traveling, so it's very possible that they might have not like sat down in person, but in the astral realm, they were having a full-blown discussions, taking notes of whatever the hell was going on. So yeah, I don't know. That's just, but in all honesty, Drake has pissed a lot of people off in the industry. I forgot that he pissed so many people off within OVO, so I don't know what the fuck is going on over there, but I don't think OVO exists anymore, to be honest with you. So literally the mole could be anybody. Like, it literally could be anybody. And it also could have been, you know, Kendrick being like a tricky little Gemini, like adding to the paranoia, but no, it seems legitimate. And I think, again, Kendrick poking at that insecurity, that paranoia. And I think he also is it 616? I can't remember which song it was that had the photo of all his prescriptions, and I think he's taking like sleeping medication. The nigga's not good. He's not doing well. He's not doing good at all. And again, for Kendrick to get, honestly, he probably just has been observing Drake over the years. He probably did not need a mole, but since he has been cultivating these relationships over the past few decades, and with his charming, laid-back Libra rising, he also has this guy next door type of vibe with his Gemini sun and Gemini Venus, and he also has this very nurturing and empathetic Pisces moon. It seems like anybody would be more than willing to give him the information that he needs, in addition to hating Drake. So there's one particular part of his chart that it actually blatantly describes how aggressively Kendrick is willing to fight for his family and his loved ones. And so let's take a look at his Mars in Cancer. And it also creates a relationship or a trine with his moon in Pisces. We'll get into that in a sec. So in the song, Drake thought it was a wonderful idea to say negative things about his relationship with Whitney and basically calling him abusive, which is crazy to think about. Drake said they hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat on your queen, and also spoke on the fact that Whitney is mixed as well. Quick side note, the fact that Whitney is mixed is completely irrelevant because one, they've known each other for a very long time. They have been friends and dating and fiance, all of that. Like, they've been together for they've known each other since they were kids. Whitney also grew up in Compton, so again, she has been immersed in the culture that Drake has been trying to cosplay since the start of his career, basically. And I love how Meg Thee Stallion said it, posted in another nigga's hood like a bad bitch. Like, that has been shout out to Meg Thee Stallion. That was Drake. So again, you're trying to diminish her blackness because she's mixed is crazy. Like, you might feel that way. That might be an insecurity for you, but it's not the same for Whitney because she was born and raised and experienced this culture, basically. So just wanted to point that out. Because again, Drake said, you the black messiah wifing up a mixed queen. And again, her mixedness is irrelevant. It's the fact that, again, Drake keeps missing the plot. He keeps missing the plot. It's not about her being mixed. It's like, she is of the culture. You are not. You are a white Canadian Jewish man. It's not the same. So bringing it back to Kendrick's Mars and Cancer. So Mars is a very militant archetype, and it's very big on creating like military level strategies, which, hey, this energy can be overly emotional because Cancer does represent the emotions. It's also it's also ruled by the moon, which is consistently moving, and it also represents your inner world. So it can create someone who can have very emotional outbursts. However, when Drake activated this particular part of Kendrick, again, Mars being like a very militant and impulsive type of energy, but also very protective too. Cancer also representing women, mothers. Okay? So this placement has the potential to be very erratic, but Kendrick decided to focus that energy, and then he dropped Meet the Grams. So, because it was Family Matters, and then Kendrick, I want to say like 10-15 minutes later, dropped Meet the Grams. So it's like, if we're gonna talk about you want to talk about mother, like, if we're gonna talk about this kind of stuff, let's really get into it. So like I said, instead of Kendrick being Mars and Cancer, a grenade, he decided to be more of a sniper. That is how he utilized this specific energy. And again, Kendrick said, let's keep this shit to a friendly fade, but Drake, again, he overestimated his rapping abilities. Like I said earlier, Kendrick's Mars in Cancer trines his moon in Pisces, and trines are all about bringing harmony to both of those particular energies that are connecting. So he was able to channel all of this rage and frustration and anger into a creative outlet, with that Piscean energy. So he was able to strategically, Mars, come for Drake's entire lineage, Cancer, while ripping every single fiber of Drake's false persona, Pisces, and leaving nothing behind but that 7-year-old white boy from Toronto, Canada. And in the most poetic way, with his Gemini sun and Venus hopping into the chat. So it was just how all of these energies connect. It's really cool to see play out. Also, fun fact, Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, which represents communication and stuff like that. So if you think back to Greek mythology, Mercury, or Hermes, was the only being that was capable of moving from Mount Olympus all the way to hell. Again, like I said, Kendrick grabbed Drake by his Caucasian edges and dragged him all the way to hell with the use of his talent and the way that he communicates in such a poetic and strategic way, the way he chose to kind of approach this beef. That is what he did. So that is, again, Mercury or Gemini can be very dual natured, just like any other planet, but it's very interesting how that kind of came about. It came about. He said, you want to take this shit to hell, we're going to take it to hell, and you're not going to make it back. You're not going to make it back. I will, but you not so much. And then Kendrick also has Mercury in Cancer, which again helps him to articulate his feelings. And I'm sure that with therapy and probably even like the past life regressions and stuff like that, it has helped him to articulate his feelings even more so. So again, it's just I love the way that his chart plays out. It's so fascinating. Anyway, back to Whitney. So also with Mars, I think I said this, Mars is very, very protective. And you have Cancer, which is over women or people that you really, really love, your family. So this is someone that Kendrick views as his family. Again, they've known each other for a very long time. She is the mother of his children. And I don't know very much about their relationship, but I'm sure that she is someone who, and again, even from a young age, has supported his creative side. Again, with that Pisces moon, for Piscean individuals, that's very important to find people who can allow you to create freely. And also bringing it back to his Mars in Cancer, this is someone who he feels that needs protection. Because again, Whitney don't be bothering nobody. She just be vibing and living her life, taking care of her babies and just vibing. That is it. That is it. So moral of the story, Drake is fraudulent. And he really needs to spend some time away. He is a Scorpio, which does represent rising of the phoenix from the ashes. So he could have that type of moment, but it depends on if he's willing to grow and evolve and transform. It doesn't quite give that, especially with his last album. So we shall see. But that's his problem. So, and also, astrology is real. I had such a good time looking at Kendrick's birth chart and dissecting it and looking at his interviews, revisiting some of his past albums, looking at different aspects of his chart and kind of putting all this information together. And it's amazing how all of these things symbolize who he is. I mean, your birth chart is the blueprint to your soul. It really is. And it's so fascinating to look at. If you are interested in doing a birth chart reading, please comment down below. Let's do it. It's exciting. And also to conclude all this information for today, his halftime show, Kendrick Lamar Duckworth's halftime show, was full of a lot of messages regarding control and propaganda, and how sometimes when Black people, when we embrace our authentic selves, it does look like a rebellion to a specific group of people. And I think we need to be a lot smarter about how we operate moving forward, and I think we got it. You know, again, our ancestors built this country. We got this shit in our DNA. We got this shit in our DNA. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Snacks are in the back. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And comment down below if you would like me to analyze Drake's birth chart. But of course, that will not happen until after Black History Month. So he has a few more days and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. So it'll be interesting to take a look at his birth chart as well to see what's going on with this man. So until next time, bye.